Hello everyone, welcome to a game stuff video. It's been nearly a year since I last made one, and I just want to do a quick, it's really just a quick video on what's been happening in the industry over the past several months. Obviously I'm going to miss a lot of stuff, so just quickly, and because today I got the alert on my phone that Microsoft has completed the purchase of Bethesda, which is hopefully a good thing. However, that will come with some exclusives for Xbox and PC. So for other console owners like PlayStation, possibly Switch, and all that, there may be some titles with time exclusivity. Yeah, I think that's a word, and possibly even worse than that, full-on exclusives for the Xbox platform. Which will obviously hurt gamers elsewhere. It's a thing that's been in gaming for too long, and it seems to be getting bigger. It's bad for gamers in general. But everybody wants to make money, and everybody wants to get more consumers into their own platforms. So these deals keep on getting more and more outrageous, really. What else have we got to cover? That one there is actually in the wrong place. That should be towards the end, but that's fine. I'll try and get back to it. Some good news though on Electronic Arts, and with regards to especially Dragon Age, the next one coming up, whenever that may be. Apparently, BioWare has been given the freedom from EA to remove multiplayer components. Which hopefully will be a good thing, because Dragon Age has always been a single player experience, and has always been good at that. And in recent times, forcing multiplayer, as almost literally Electronic Arts did on some internal rule change or something like that, I can't remember the name, some time back, they're pretty much forcing companies to focus on multiplayer, and that did hurt studios and development teams that were just good at making single player games. It doesn't mean that you can't go from a single player to multiplayer game and be good at it, but it's a lot harder if it's something that you do and you're good at, and all of a sudden you're being told you must have a different components, very different, incorporated into your game, that can cause failure. So yeah, that's a good thing. There is a couple more things from EA though that may not be as good. One of them is the acquisition of Codemasters, as some of you may know from the Formula 1 games. I think they've got some other good games out there. I'm guessing that's going to go into the EA Sports category kind of thing, which does leave me very skeptical for the future of the franchises that they have. You know, microtransactions and all that, which EA has been heavily criticized for in recent years, and something that I'm not a fan of. Like, what's that FIFA Ultimate Team or whatever? Which they rack a lot of money on, so they will most definitely be putting things like that on Codemaster games, I suspect, anyway. And what else have we got from here? We've got something else. Yes, we've got Anthem. So I think Anthem Next, that's what it was called. Yeah, Anthem Next was meant to be the new Anthem, sort of release, in hope that it would achieve what it had aimed to achieve first time around. But it appears that EA, after some meetings, have realized that was still not going to be good enough. So they're going shut down development completely, by the looks of it. Good news for the players that do still enjoy the game, and I know there are some players that still play the game. The servers will be up, the game will keep on running, so that is a good thing. Another good thing from EA. Oh boy. Anyway, that kind of wraps it up from EA. Now I've got some other notes here. What else did I have? A bit of a darker patch of things, actually. Dying Light 2 developer is getting into a lot of hot water internally with all sorts of accusations and all that. So God knows what's happening with that game. Some turbulent times with Techland for sure. And the problems don't stop there. Other games in troubles are Vampire the Masquerade's Bloodlines 2, which I think I had something here. Again, I missed the order completely. That's what happens when you rush things after work and between other games. So this game started with some big changes, high-end, in the teams as far as a year ago or 2 years ago. And then pretty much a huge change now, as Artsuit Labs will not even be the ones developing the game anymore. So it's a complete change, and heaven knows what's going to happen with this game. I had started losing hope for this game a while back with some things that were popping up, some things that again maybe shouldn't be in games as much as they were coming up on this game and being shared around on Twitter. So perhaps it's a good thing to change, or so I hope, because we kind of need a good game. The first game was really good and gave them a big name for a possible franchise. However, it was mostly actual PC players with mods that rescued that game. The game in itself had some serious problems. And more problems that we do have, obviously, Cyberpunk 2077, the release of that game, which was probably the most hyped for a while, has not had a very good release. On PC it was fine, some bugs, nothing usually amazing. However, on last gen consoles, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, there were some severe issues as far as the game even being unplayable for some players. So that definitely hurt Cyberpunk, and it hurt CD Projekt Red even more so later on when they got hacked. So as things weren't going bad enough for CD Projekt Red, they got quite a big hack later on, which I don't believe I've got anything pulled up on that. Yeah, sorry, I do have Twitter, where a lot of remission coding and all sort of things related to the game were stolen and then were put out for sale in a, do you call it a black market? I don't know, put to sell on the web, which could potentially create a lot of trouble for CD Projekt Red. So that is not, it has not been a good year for the Polish company at all. Lost a lot of goodwill from the players, and then getting itself in trouble by getting hacked, which is not so much their problem, unless yes, you can fortify your systems to avoid that kind of thing. But just on top of having a really messy launch, facing lawsuits and all that kind of thing, then getting hacked on top of it was not a good, well, it was a pretty bad thing, nothing good about it. What else have we got? About dodgy releases, perhaps not as bad as Cyberpunk, but we did have Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 obviously released. I don't believe I covered this at all. Probably one of the reasons not to cover it is because nobody could get one of these consoles, and to this day they are still being scalped a lot. I think I found some articles recently that some scalpers are reducing the price. That means absolutely bugger all for most of us, because it's still a ridiculous price. It's still over the price that it should be sold at. And I'm losing my voice probably because I'm trying to speak too quickly, because I'm trying to finish the video soon. So that has definitely been probably one of the worst releases of consoles, especially when you had both of them there. And a lot of bad, I think Microsoft and Sony in a way are partially to blame, but also the big stores that were selling them, they have a lot to blame by not having systems in place to stop these bots buying them, amongst many other things that they could have done to improve the system. One of the things that I didn't like was advertising to everybody when they will have the games, the consoles available, so people could actually program bots to even be more active during those times, to make sure that they could get them. I found it bizarre. Yes, people know, so they can be there to click, but then bots definitely know they can be there to click them too. I think maybe should have been focused a bit more on stores where people have to buy them physically. That's my opinion. But it's still now we're in March, the 9th of March as I'm recording this. I don't know when I'm going to post it, but hopefully it'll be up by tomorrow at least. And it's still pretty hard to get them. And so far as some governments, like the UK government, is looking at making scalping illegal of some sense, or looking into it, plus a petition has kind of made them look into it anyway. But there's been other branches of government around that have definitely raised eyebrows on how these scalping groups can operate. And then some of these groups even went on social media trying to make people feel sorry for them. Like, no, I'm not going to feel sorry for you regardless of your circumstances, pretty much. However, to finish on a slightly more rumorous topic, let's go with that. Nintendo Switch Pro has been gaining some traction on the media lately, which for me is a good thing because I'm kind of interested on the console. So maybe towards the end of 2021 we'll have a more powerful version of the Switch, which will be pretty cool and something that I will possibly be looking at, depending how the rest of my year goes in gaming. But definitely up for that option. So yeah, pretty cool things there. Nothing official from Nintendo, I don't believe. We had the Nintendo event. God, I forgot what it was called. Nintendo Direct, I think it was called. And I was hoping for some sort of hint or some sort of news on the next console. They had nothing, but that's nothing new from Nintendo. They pretty uptight on those things. So seeing some rumors coming up recently that got my hopes up a little bit. Other than that, I don't think there's been any other major events. There has been what was it? Was it BlizzCon? BlizzCon Line, I believe it was called, which was pretty funny. Not an awful lot got released or got announced there. Some interesting things for sure, but not an awful lot. The most interesting things, which became a meme pretty quickly, was when when Twitch had to use that generic music on a Metallica concert at BlizzCon. I found that, well, the whole of the internet found that hilarious, as Metallica were one of the groups, as much as I like them for the music, they were one of the groups that kind of started what today becomes the MCA and all that. I can't find the words to explain that, but they started to kick that movement pretty much. So seeing that happening to them a few years down the line, it was hilarious. It was quite funny. So a few memes on that. I'm sure I've missed quite a few things that have happened over the past few months. These are the things that kind of kicked off 2021 the most. So I'll try to get them together over the past few days, because I always forget something, and I'm sure I forgot something. Just to do a quick video on a series that I have not done on a very long time. And hopefully we'll do another one fairly soonish. Stay safe, take care, and we'll see you soon, I hope.